We are anonymous, not a person, not a party, not a campaign, not a brand chasing attention. We are a voice that emerges when power starts cracking under its own lies, when outrage is manufactured to distract from fear, and when those who shout the loudest about faith and patriotism are exposed by their own behavior. We exist because silence has become a weapon, and because too many people in power expect the public to look away. Today we are not looking away. This story is not really about football. It is not about halftime shows or celebrity performances. It is about insecurity. It is about a political movement that claims strength, but collapses the moment it loses control of the spotlight. And it is about Donald Trump unraveling as the biggest televised event in America becomes something he cannot dominate, manipulate, or survive unscathed. Mega conservatives and self-proclaimed Christian warriors did not accidentally wake up angry at the Super Bowl. This outrage was preloaded. The talking points were prepared in advance. The culture war alarm was ready to be pulled. All it took was one announcement. A brown Spanish-speaking global superstar was chosen to headline the halftime show. That was enough to trigger a meltdown across right-wing media. Suddenly, the Super Bowl was woke. Suddenly, it was an attack on America. Suddenly, faith and family were supposedly under threat. Not because of corporate greed, not because of gambling ads flooding the broadcast, not because billionaires exploit everything they touch, but because someone who does not look like them, sound like them, or bow to their politics was given the biggest stage in American entertainment. They want you to believe this is about values. It is not. It is about control. It is about who gets to be seen as American and who does not. It is about who is allowed to speak without permission. Bad Bunny represents everything Trumpism cannot control. He is global. He is multilingual. He is unapologetic. He has a massive audience that does not rely on Fox News to understand the world. He has openly criticized Donald Trump for years, from Trump's disgraceful response to Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico to his cruelty toward immigrants. Just days before this controversy exploded, Bad Bunny stood on the Grammy stage and said it plainly. We're not savage. We're not animals. We're not aliens. We are Americans.
We're not savage, we're not animals, we're not aliens, we are humans, and we are Americans.
That was not entertainment. That was defiance. Trump heard it. MAGA heard it. And they panicked. Trump quickly declared that Bad Bunny was a terrible choice for the halftime show.
Trump has said he doesn't plan to attend this year's Super Bowl and has said Bad Bunny is a terrible choice.
No explanation, no argument, just rejection. This is Trump's instinctive move. If he cannot control something, he attacks it. If he cannot dominate it, he devalues it. And if he cannot silence it, he runs from it. Publicly, Trump claimed he would not attend the Super Bowl because it was too far away. The excuse was laughable. This is a man who spent years flying nonstop for rallies, fundraisers, golf trips, and ego boosts. This is a man who attended last year's Super Bowl without hesitation. Distance has never stopped Donald Trump. Humiliation has. Behind the scenes, according to reporting from Zeteo, Trump's own advisors quietly assessed the situation and reached a conclusion that terrified them. If Trump attended Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara, California, there was a strong chance he would be aggressively booed by the crowd. Not scattered jeers, not polite disapproval. We are talking about loud, unmistakable rejection, broadcast live to millions of viewers. Trump's approval ratings have collapsed since his last Super Bowl appearance. His legal troubles have multiplied. His public image has shifted from manufactured strength to exposed grievance. His advisors understood what that sound would mean. One White House official reportedly described the risk as big league. Viral clips spreading instantly. Endless replays. Headlines Trump could not control. A visual record of a former president being rejected by the public. Trump lives for cameras, but only when they flatter him. A stadium full of boos would shatter the illusion he depends on. So he stayed home. Not because the stadium was far away, but because the truth was too close. While Trump hid, his movement lashed out. Turning Point USA, founded by conservative activist Charlie Kirk, announced a counter-event called the All-American Halftime Show. The name was not subtle. It was a declaration of exclusion wrapped in patriotic branding. According to their website, the event would celebrate faith, family, and freedom. The featured headliner was Kid Rock, one of Trump's most vocal celebrity supporters, joined by country artists Brantley Gilbert, Lee Brice, and Gabby Barrett. The message was clear. This was supposed to be the real America, standing against the other America on the Super Bowl stage. Kid Rock leaned into the resentment immediately. When his role was announced, he mocked the actual halftime show, sneering about dancing, wearing dresses, and singing in Spanish. It was not confidence. It was insecurity. A 55-year-old man still calling himself Kid, desperately trying to stay relevant by punching down. But the internet does not forget, and neither does reality. As reported by Penn Live, one of Kid Rock's older songs resurfaced just in time for this so-called faith and family event. The song Cool Daddy Cool from the 2001 soundtrack of Osmosis Jones contains lyrics that are impossible to defend. His collaborator responds by acknowledging that some would call it statutory. Kid Rock replies, "I say it's mandatory. These are not rumors. These are not distortions. These are the lyrics." The timing could not have been worse. The Epstein files had recently re-entered public discussion, reopening uncomfortable questions about powerful men, celebrity culture exploitation, and silence. And here was Turning Point USA elevating Kid Rock as a symbol of Christian values while ignoring lyrics that directly contradict everything they claim to stand for. The reaction was immediate. Online commentators pointed out the grotesque hypocrisy. Others sarcastically noted that this was exactly what one would expect from a movement that screams about protecting children while repeatedly excusing or ignoring behavior that endangers them. Faith and family apparently only matter when they can be weaponized politically. This is MAGA morality in action. They claim to defend children while promoting artists with lyrics about underage girls. They claim to uphold Christian values while threatening violence. They claim to oppose corruption while worshiping a man drowning in lawsuits, scandals, and lies. And when challenged, the mask slips completely. Trump, when confronted by reporters, lashed out as usual. He insulted journalists, dismissed legitimate questions, mocked a young woman reporter, and accused the media of dishonesty. He called mainstream outlets public enemy number one, a phrase straight from authoritarian playbooks.
What did you say? Go ahead.
What would you say to the survivors who feel like they haven't gotten justice?
You are the worst reporter. No wonder CNN has no ratings because of people like you. You know, she's a young woman. I don't think I've ever seen you smile. I've known you for 10 years. I don't think I've ever seen a smile on your face.
I'm asking you about survivors.
You know why? You know why you're not smiling? Because you know you're not telling the truth, and you're a very dishonest organization, and they should be ashamed of you.
This language is deliberate. It is meant to dehumanize anyone who questions him. Kid Rock followed the same script, only more aggressively. He ranted about being called a racist, framed himself as a victim, and then escalated straight to intimidation. "You don't want to mess with us people," he warned. "We have the guns. We know how to use them."
I've said it and I'll say it again because I think it needs to be echoed until they get it through their fat skulls. The mainstream media is frickin' public enemy number one right now. Nut houses they call media establishments. It's absolutely frickin' ridiculous. I'm someone who understands better than anyone as being a very vocal Trump supporter from day one. They've called me a racist Nazi for years now. You don't want to mess with us people. We have the guns. We know how to use them.
This was not metaphor. It was a threat delivered casually, as if this is what passes for patriotism now. This is what the culture war looks like when it runs out of substance. It becomes pure rage, fear of losing relevance, fear of losing control, fear of being booed instead of cheered. Trump skipping the Super Bowl is not a scheduling choice. It is a confession. He knows the crowd is no longer his. He knows the cameras might capture the truth. And he knows that once millions of people hear that rejection, the myth cracks a little more. This was never about football. It is about power slipping away. It is about a movement built on dominance realizing it cannot dominate everything. It is about a former president discovering that his base may be loud, but the country is bigger than his echo chamber. We are anonymous. We connect the dots they hope you will ignore. We document what happens when fear replaces leadership and outrage replaces values. If you see it too, do not stay silent. Share this. Talk about it. Question what you are being fed, and never let manufactured outrage distract you from the truth standing right in front of you.